Yesterday, the National Publicity Secretary, Oyinlola, did make some announcements suspending Oyinlola and 3 others. Well, ever since then, there's been lots of reactions coming through from almost most of those who are concerned. Well, today, the first of our offerings comes from Abuja. Sidi Godwin, who is the interim secretary, Bayelsa State Chapter of the Breakaway Group within the People's Democratic Party. Morning, and thank you for joining us. You heard Mr. Metu's announcement on the day, and he goes ahead and cites sections, he says relevant sections within the People's Democratic Party's constitution, justifying the action of the party. What do you think of that?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Yes, you are very much aware of the developments within the party, the sacking of, yes, with respect to Oyinlola, Samson Jaja, and so many others. They say they acted within the rules of the party. Do you disagree with that?
Well, I completely disagree with it, Chamberlain. For the fact that the party PDP has a constitution and due process was not followed, and these are some of the abnormalities we have seen in the party that have brought the rift, within members in the party. And also you can see the level in which the desperation in the highest quarters, especially the leadership of Bamanga Tuko. And as a party, we have a way of resolving our internal problems. You see, the action by the Bamanga Tuko-led PDP, it is unconstitutional and it's abuse of democracy. It's a shame. It's very, very unfortunate.
Do you still see deceit? And at what part of that statement of his is the deceit?
Well, Chamberlain, the PDP, it is not a cult group. You're going by group theory, where people just gang up and then they just decide to do something to satisfy themselves, and then they just go ahead and then pronounce it. Here there is a court judgment. A particular will cannot override general will. So the will of the so-called caucus members cannot override the will of Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So going by that group theory, all what he has said is based on what they have agreed on their own to do, to, oppress other members of the party. I think in the new PDP, these are some of the things that we kick against. We have our rights as a people, even if it's a party, in some form, you infringe on other people's rights. Then the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria comes to play. So why would they now say that when there is court judgment, that he has been expelled? You can see the level of impunity. Let me digress a little bit. Look at what happened when 7 serving governors were holding a meeting. A DPO would just come out, I want to arrest 7 serving governors. You can imagine. Forgetting the fact that the Constitution says that the president and the vice president and serving governor and their deputy has immunity, but a DPO will come, we won't arrest him. You can see the
Perhaps
level.
That is also one aspect, but specifically we're looking at this suspension. If you can just pause for a moment so that you can hear me. Looking at your constitution here, we also had the same document with us yesterday when a PDP member was here. He said, well, we should perish the thought of ever recognizing anyone who's gone by the name or who's going by the name the new PDP. Looking at your constitution and listening to what Mr. Metu has just reeled out, would you say he said anything quite different from what we're saying? Because if you look at 58 I or an H engages anyone who engages in any conduct likely to cause disaffection. All of those sections he pointed out are things they say your party or your arm of the PDP have been doing. And so, well, the big axe should fall on anyone and everyone, and in fact, even yourself, who's chosen to be part of that new PDP, isn't it?
Now, when we talk about the new PDP, it is, we are members of the PDP, but we are aggrieved. So they gave us a name that we have defected. Sometimes they call the governors rebel governors, forgetting the fact that these governors are Messiah governors to save to the Nigeria project. So all what he is saying, quoting the Constitution, that any person who defects, who do this and that, has gone contrary to the Constitution of the party. That is not true. That is not exactly what the new PDP is saying. The new PDP is saying, let us right the wrongs, the old wrongs. We have even Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. We do amend it. The areas that need to be amended, when you amend it, what do you call it? It is new. That is just what it is. If you look at the churches that we have, the breakaway, the Protestants, does it mean that they are not part of, they are not, can be regarded as people who worship Christ? You know, so the new PDP, what we are saying that there is problem in the party.
It frowns at anyone getting any kind of parallel group or association within the PDP. And they say if you really want out, then you should be out and not stay there and cause disaffection, which is also against the constitution of the PDP.
Sorry?
Your party is saying something quite different. I'm saying that, well, the example of churches or the Protestants doesn't actually hold water here, because you have a constitution, and your constitution before us here says, well, you shouldn't do anything contrary to what you're doing now. If you're aggrieved, you should settle it and sort it out within the party. But if you decide to have a parallel government or arm of the PDP, they say it is against the rules and regulation set by the founding members of the PDP in your constitution.
Oh, thank you very much. When you go to court to marry a wife and you have children, and if there is problem within the family, and your wife decides to go and then meet the parents, then later they come together, that doesn't mean that the marriage has terminated. There is a problem. Yes, the party has a constitution that guides everybody. But when they go and then dissolve a party ESCO, what do they say about that? These are things that we are against.
Is it in your constitution that the governors of every state where you have PDP must also be the leader of the party? Is it constitutional within your party?
Hello? Hello?
Is it constitutional in your party that the governors of the states will also be the leader of your party in that state?
Well, when there is crisis within a system, the people must come to talk and come to terms. The leaders of the governors of these various states, they are the leaders of the party in their various states. So there is a problem on ground before us, and which negotiations have been going on with the president. Now, the constitution of the PDP has been abused by the leadership of the party. So when there is crisis, we will also be talking about our own. They are the governors of these various states. They are the leaders of the party. So the constitution that we are saying, it binds on all of us. But the areas that are wrong, that we are trying to correct, which they are saying that no, we should not say anything, that we should do what they ask us to do. Even within the party, that the constitution that they are saying, they are not operating based on the constitution. They will just come to the public and then begin to quote. If they go by what they have done within the party in this last 1 year, you will begin to see the areas in which they have abused that constitution. That is exactly what is bringing this problem.